Welcome to the next presentation. I have with me here Christian Fredriksson, CEO of Fingerprint Cards, a common guest with us at the bank here. This time it feels extra stimulating since you have just recently announced a quite extensive press release with your thoughts about the biometric payment market and also with the mobile and the PC market. So welcome, and the scene is yours.
Hey, thank you very much. Very good to be here. And welcome to the world of fingerprints. And I will run through actually today a bit about what we just announced today. So we have been asked many times about how do we see the market outside of mobile and what is, and we have kind of not given very clear answers on that one, and we felt that it is now time. There's so many things happening. It is a good time for us to come out with our view and our ambition level as well within those different markets. I will address them. This is not a guidance in the short term, but this is a view of where we are going and what share we want to take of those markets and our ambition level. I'm very pleased to be here today to tell you about that. So I'm going to run through our situation and the market potential and what share do we have as an ambition level for ourselves there from 2026 and beyond, and looking a bit longer term and not only in the short term how this market is evolving. And of course we have done extensive work on when it comes to the roadmap, understanding what do we need to do to drive these different segments. I will look at today on the mobile and PC, as well as then the whole payment market and the access market. And I will take them one by one and give you our view, and as well of course my view on this. So let's start with the mobile devices and the PC, right? As of today, we have launched with over 450 mobiles. And we see still now, actually we see today that the capacitive market is rebounding. So we are going from the back side of the mobile to the side of the mobile. It's been our innovation. That's something that we have been driving, and we will continue to drive that. We have at the same time been able to, with these movements, we are increasing the market share. But also within mobile business, capacitive is coming back. It is gaining market share. It is an extremely secure, safe, fast, reliable way. And it is very convenient on the side, clearly. And we can see that also, of course, from the Apple launch with the Air iPad. When we look at 2026 and beyond, we still see growth in the capacitive in the mobile as well. So we believe this will be about around 800 million units per year when it comes to the biometric side. That means actually that there is still a growth in population. That means there will be growth in mobile, and we will also continue to get into more feature phones. So the capacitive technology is doing well and will continue to do well. At the same time as we do this, we see already customers that are taking more capacitive into their models again. And that is a clear trend for us. So we believe that that will continue. And we are now shooting for, we have been gaining market share in the capacitive side of it. We believe, and our aspiration is to get even to around 40% market share in the mobile business when it comes to the capacitive technology. Now, then we have the under display, where we clearly have not been able to get in yet. We are not in that part of the market. That will still continue to grow as well. It has been a very strong price erosion that has happened also in the under display business, as it happened earlier in the capacitive. But we still see that the units are going up, and this will be a market about 600 million units in the biometric part for the under display. There are a bit different technologies there, and we see ourselves working as well towards around 20% or even, let's say, up to 20% market share in this space for us, where of course we are a latecomer as of today. We are not in that part of the market yet, and we're still working to get ourselves into it. I'm very excited about the opportunities in PC. We all know that the pandemic has been a tragic event across the world, and we see a different consumer behavior, both in terms of going more for touchless, but as well in terms of home working. And all that is increasing the need once again for PCs and make it simpler with pins and passwords. So we see a huge clear change in PCs also getting more fingerprint sensors in it, and it is capacitive technology. This is really our home alley. This is really for the place for us to come in and play ourselves. There has been a lot of shifts in this market as well, and now clearly both the consumer as well as the enterprise is clearly moving into biometry and capacitive technology. Our product, which we will first time, we have launched in the Chromebook area already with many players. Acer, Asus, Google, HP, Samsung, as well as Huawei and Microsoft. So we are there with many players already, but now we will also get into the PC with our new product launches that we have done in this. We expect the first actual real launches for us to be in this business, in the PC business, to happen still this year. I find this an exciting market for us. As I said, this is really straight up our alley. This is where we need to be strong and well doing. The PC market will stay fairly flat over all these years, and it's about 260 million units that is running in this market. We believe that the full penetration when it comes to biometric and fingerprint sensors will be about 170 million units per year in this market, and our aim and our aspiration and aim is to have about 40% in that market, in the PC market. It is a great place to be. All that we work with, all our players, all our partners are in that space. All our supply chain and module houses have taken a big portion of that business, and we are all working within the mobile. It's a very natural move to go in for us there. And also the Scandinavian heritage, high security, high reliability, high volume capability, of course, plays well in all our benefits over there. Now let me get to another exciting area, of course, is payments. We have also, like everybody has been, we have seen many delays in this market over the last few years, and now finally we are on the verge of takeoff. And of course, once again, people want touchless. They do not want to touch the devices or the POS terminals. We have said that many times, and we can see a big shift in this industry right now. So we are very, very happy to be in 21 of the 21 pilots, and we can see now that the first real larger banks in Europe are going to launch still this year by bringing biometry into the cards. On the market potential when it comes to biometry in the smart card business. When you look at the population growth, when you look at all the different payment devices that we have included here, which is smart cards, which is of course the biggest portions, wearables, USB dongles, all of that will be payment devices. We believe that by 2026 and beyond, this will be about 6 billion units delivered and sold, produced per year. And we believe that 100%, close to 100%, will be contactless. That is clearly the trend. That is what people want. They want contactless, simple, secure payments. And out of that potential market of 6 billion and all close to 100% will be contactless, we believe 50% will be with biometric sensors. And of that, our ambition is to have 50% market share when it comes to smart card payment cards across the world. And when we look at that, of course, with the launch of the new Tshape Generation 2 that we just came out with, we will drive the cost of the sensor below $3. That's of course needed for the first step to get into volume business and to get going with this one. That is very important for us, and that's of course what we do. That is all the learnings from delivered over 1.2 billion sensors into the mobile business and many other businesses to come with door locks and others. All that knowledge in production, in driving costs down, driving efficiency and driving higher security, all that we have brought into these products. we feel confident that this is our stronghold. This is where we are good. Now, when I look forward and to 2026, our task is of course not ended by launching the Tshape 2 that we have come out with now. And as I said, we expect the sensor cost to be below $3. But when we look at further from that, we of course have an ambition, and our target is clear, that we will drive costs down so that together with our partners, we can get a card cost which is below $3. So basically the full card cost we need to drive below $3. That's what we want to do, and that's of course a very clear aim for us. And that's how we will drive volumes going forward as well, so that this whole industry will have the possibility, and all consumers will have possibility to get biometry into their cards. Now let me, once again, for us it's very important to do the total card cost, to do that together with our partners. And of course, if you look at our partners, if just looking at the secure elements players, whether it's Infineon, STM Micro, and NXP, so when you look at that, that's 85% of the secure element market share to combine with these players. And we together will drive the full card concept together. That's the capability of this company together with these players. We need those partners as well, and that's how we will drive this combined and drive the market to volume with the right security levels and the right cost levels. This is an exciting cooperation that we have with all the key players in this industry. I am very excited actually about this. And I do have to tell you, being a product company, we have to a little bit show also sometimes the product. This is what our engineers do. This is what we love to do as well, to drive the markets, to get the impact that we want. Now Tshape 2, I'm trying to explain here shortly that when you look at the version 1, which is to the left, and if you look at the version 2 that you see on the right, the Tshape generation 2, there's a big difference, of course. There's a lot of knowledge that was already in Tshape 1, but we've taken that further, whether it comes to production capabilities, how it is adapted into the production, so that we can do volumes as we do today. And we have increased the security level once again. We have taken encryption in. It is optional to have encryption or not. That depends on the different players, how they do the card. We don't need an MCU. Our engineering capabilities have already done that, and we've done away with that need already with our software and algo capabilities. That's why I love this high tech so much. It moves fast, and we have been trained in the toughest of markets, in the heaviest of volumes. This is what we love to do. We will continue innovating. This is only the beginning of what can be done in this industry. All that lessons learned that we have done as a leader in the mobile, in the door locks industries, we will bring to bear and bear to bring into this industry as well. That makes our engineers, that makes us all excited that we can drive this together. This, of course, is not at all. This is the start of this journey, and we will do many things when we come forward. I think the Tshape 2 is a fantastic product. We're proud of it. We have increased the security levels, the speed. You don't need a PMU anymore, the power management unit, and as I said, you don't need actually the MCU as either, which is basically the microcontroller. These are very important parts that we have taken away, actually parts of the product to make it easier. It's what we do in mobile as well. Now let me talk shortly about the access industry as well, and how we see that market going forward for us. This is a very scattered market. It is many different segments. You have access cards, where once again touchless will be key. So you basically have your fingerprint sensor information on the card, and you will have access and use that. That is very interesting. We see also door locks as being the biggest for us so far. We're the market leader today, and our target and aim is of course to continue being the market leader in this industry as well. There are several different parts of products in this area. It is door locks, it is dongles, it is USB sticks, it is remote game controls, and logical access devices, and of course vehicles. Car industry is part of this as well. So overall, we estimate this market to be over 100 million units when it comes to the biometry by 2026. And as I said, also this market is growing, and we intend to stay as the number one and leader in this part of the market as well. Then I want to talk about touchless. Touchless, of course, has been an interesting way to see the change now in consumer behavior when touchless is more important. We have launched lately, a while ago, we launched in the hospital in South Korea. You know well that we're working with Gentex to get iris into the car. And we are, of course, working also with AR, VR headset manufacturers. There's a lot of discussions going on to get iris into that one. It is very natural. And there are many other applications, for example, in India, where iris has been registered, where we see terminals and devices and access devices and payment devices coming with iris as well today. And even Indian authorities are wanting to use the devices for access for all of their governmental people, right? So there's a lot of things happening also around iris. And as I said, clearly the pandemic has meant that it is more difficult to use face recognition technologies as there are so many masks around. So that is also changing a little bit the dynamics of this industry. We, of course, have a iris combined with the face recognition technology, which is a good way to get the best of both worlds here. So, shortly to summarize from a Fingerprint point of view how we see the market, I have tried to explain to you that altogether, if you look at the mobile devices as well as the PC, there will be about 1.7 billion units with biometry per year produced in that area. There will be in payments, as I said earlier, 3 billion units. So when you look at the total market of 6 billion, half of them we said will have, we believe, will have biometry in them. And as I said, we want and we aim to get 50% of that market. Access, we say it's above 100 million units per year. And if you combine this, that means actually a pretty amazing 4.8 billion as an aspiration for us to have. That's how we see the market evolving by 2026 and beyond. Altogether, as I said, as a sum, 4.8 billion units per year with biometry in them. And we want to have, as I said many times, our fair share as the leader and continuous leader in this market. Thank you very much. It has been fun and fantastic to be presenting to you again.
Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a few questions that come in from the web. Let me start up with the competitive situation going into biometric payment cards. You're today exposed to and have been exposed to a quite dramatic and heavy Chinese competition. How do you see the Chinese abilities to enter the payment market?
Well, I think there's twofold. One is, of course, that the competition as such has made us as strong. I mean, we're the only Western player left kind of in the mobile industry as a biometric player, right? So, and I feel, I think that gives us a lot of strength. We have maintained leadership, number one position. We're growing our market share again. So we feel very strong in our capability to innovate and still drive and compete in that. So that has been actually it's been a tough journey, but it's been a fantastic learning for us, as all of us, in terms of the company, our capability to innovate, our capability to drive volumes and compete in that kind of market. Obviously, with the geopolitical situation globally, you will see barriers coming. So then, because the payment industry is so much in the Western world driven by that, we also, of course, want to be. So we will work as a neutral player, but I believe that, of course, the payment industry is much better in a way for the Western world, because a lot of the production and a lot of the players, big players, are in the Western world in that industry when it comes to credit card business. So I think that that's a benefit, obviously, for us going into that industry, I think. And using all the learnings that we have, and we of course still want to be strong in Asia and continue strong even with the payment industry that is there.
Now, within PC and Chromebooks, and also maybe the other areas, how do you see pricing in general as opposed to the mobile industry? Is there a difference?
I think there's a big difference between all these segments. Clearly, mobile is the most competitive, and that's how we have now learned ourselves. We have all that pain and innovation and knowledge and all those people that we have, it's a battle-hardened team that has gone through all that. And so I think that nothing is as hard, and the prices are different, and the security level expectations are different. So I believe that it will be a little bit different prices in PC as well as when you go into the payment industry, right? But there is also other requirements on encryption and security and so forth, right? So that's why the prices are in many cases higher. But then again, I think that we want to be the leader and we want to drive volume, so we will bring all that knowledge into these other industries as well, right? Obviously, we want to do that.
Mm. Now, also, you talked about the sort of $3 hurdle to get to for the payment industry. How many years do you think the industry needs to get down to $3 per card?
Well, I said already here that we now have, which we're launching, the Tshape 2, Generation 2, which is coming kind of Q1 next year, first quarter next year. We're all ready for the sensor. We don't need the MCU anymore. We're gonna work like with everything else that is there in the contactless card today. We just come in with the sensor basically, and we have done all those efficiencies already with that generation. So the sensor itself will be below $3. So that's already a significant step, and the performance is excellent. It is the most competitive product absolutely on the market, cost-wise, security-wise, performance-wise, speed-wise. And then, of course, we said that by 2026 and beyond, we see that the whole cost of the card will be below $3. And that we need to do, of course, with the partners as well. We have a big role to play in that. So we are, of course, eager to drive that as fast as possible, because we want the volumes to come as fast as possible. But we need to do that together with the industry, as I said, all the big players there as well. It's a big ecosystem that we need to work with, right?
And just to get a picture of the ramping up of volumes between now and 2026, is there another price hurdle where you can feel that this is where probably commercial volumes will start to pick up for real?
Well, I think that we can do with Tshape 2, we can do commercial volumes for real already. I'm certain that we can. So that product is a volume product. It is a volume product in technology, in manufacture capability, in security, and in cost. Mm-hmm. So I think that hurdle is already passed with that. Yeah. And then it's only about how do you take it to all the different segments of the payment industry. Mm-hmm. But for sure we're already there. So now it is up to the banks to start launching it. Actually, I think it is. So they don't have. There is no need to wait anything anymore, if I would say so.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a few questions from the web also. They're touching on the stock price falling now, and also how will the business look like in 2 years' time? And I know you're not particularly eager to talk about near-term outlook, so let me maybe rephrase that question a little bit. You have basically no debt on the balance sheet, or you have no debt on the balance sheet. You have a positive cash flow, but you have an EBIT result which is kind of hovering around the zero level. And you're aiming at the 30% gross margin level. How do you see those parameters evolving over the coming 2-3 years?
Of course, we will improve it. We're not happy with hovering around zero. Then you have to remember that it is also that because we have ourselves decided as our strategy to invest in these new areas. We've invested heavily into new areas and new products, whether it is the smart card business, the PC business, where there has been no revenues yet. So obviously the mobile business is good business for us, but we are investing as a high-tech company. I believe it's important for us. So we are investing and using those investments in other areas that we need to build. And it takes time and effort to build these ecosystems and the products, as we have seen. So, but obviously I'm not pleased with at all with zero, right? Obviously that's not something that excites any of us, right? We want to do profits, of course, but at the moment we have felt very strongly as our strategy that it's more important now to expand the business and get the new products out, build the new ecosystems, than just focus only on keeping that EBIT up in the positive area. But obviously that must be a target for us. We are not happy with that, and we must improve. So of course we will improve on it.
Okay. And then maybe just a final question, going back again to the positive cash flow and your balance sheet situation. Is there another way for you guys to use the positive cash flow? You have announced the share buyback program. Can you elaborate maybe on that?
I suppose as a high-tech company, you always look at all options, right? And this was looking at what we can do with ourselves in the forces that we have, the whole vision here built on that. Of course, you're always looking at what else can you do in structural things in the industry. And that's why it's good to have a positive cash flow and a good and zero debt situation as a company. But that's of course up to future actions for us, and something that is of course done together with the board. That what do we decide to do other things, but this is what we are doing right now, directly, incrementally, and organically, if I would say, right.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Christian. Thank you for a great presentation, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.